Mike, how bad was the performance on Saturday with Penn State, Illinois?
I'd say it was bad. I mean, it was bad, my friend. I thought it was their worst game of the year. Illinois is a bad team. Illinois was, as much as they were talking about keeping the family together and we love each other and we're fighting for a bowl game at the end of the game, there was not a lot of emotion or passion in that place at the beginning of the game. And Penn State not only couldn't create any, it couldn't prevent Illinois from creating some of their own. The offense is really a mess, and certainly on Saturday, the defense and the special teams weren't enough to help them, and they made a number of gigantic mental errors, which cost them dearly, and they really a dead in the water program and gave them a little bit of life, and I thought it was. Depending on how you define it, I mean, you can look at losing 63-14 to Ohio State last year. That's one thing, but depending on how you define a bad loss, I thought it was the worst loss of the post-Paterno sanctions whole business. It was really, really bad
because of all the mistakes. Has Franklin lost confidence in Hackenberg?
Yes, I think it's obvious. Yeah. He threw 16 passes on Saturday. He does not in situations where you're coming down to the end, they're crawling into a hole sort of offensively. There's no, and it is a combination of things. It's not just confidence in Hackenberg. It's confidence that we can protect Hackenberg, confidence that the receivers can get open, et cetera. But yeah, the short answer is yes.
Gordy Jones has an article in today's Lancaster L&P newspaper. He talked to Hackenberg's dad.
Yeah.
I sensed this a few weeks ago, based on this offense and what's going on out there. Do you think Hackenberg's going to transfer?
Well, if I had the gun in my head right now, I would say yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just a hunch. And I hope everybody reads Gordy's story today. It's being linked to by a lot of national media and stuff. I think that his father. Wasn't real forthcoming, but he certainly didn't say no. Christian is coming, and I would guess that Hackenberg really doesn't know right now. Probably hasn't decided, and he'll sit down probably after the Michigan State game on Saturday and really decide it. But again, if I hold a gun to my head and I got to say yes or no, I say more likely he's gone.
He's a great what we've seen in his 2 years here at the beginning of this year. He's a very good quarterback. We could see him in the NFL. You've written about that. First drive of the game in Illinois, he looked great. Great throw for the touchdown in the corner there to Godwin. So it's a shame, but I saw this a few weeks ago, and I could see O'Connor going too. This staff right now is not comfortable coaching drop-back pro-style quarterbacks. They want those dual-threat guys out there. Last drive of the game, last question for you. They did not punt. It was 4th and inches. They decided to punt, I should say. Into the wind. They got 31 yards. A very nice play. Illinois got that all back on one pass. Do you think they should have punted there, or should they have gone for it?
Well, I think they should. I think they should have gone for it. I think the sort of stat analysis that has been done and research that's been done in recent years indicates that you should go for it on 4th down much more often than you do. I mean, it's defensible to say I trust my defense and I'm going to let them win the game for me. That's defensible, but I think you're on the 41-yard line. So if you go for it, and don't make it, worst case scenario, you don't make it. Okay, now that's putting the game on your defense too. Yeah. So, you're sort of safe if you punt. But I think you're smart and bold and aggressive if you go for it.
2 weeks ago, I'm watching Miami and Florida State. Miami's offense with a young coordinator, and what he was doing, guessing with the defensive coordinator. I thought, man, Al Golden will look good in Penn State right now. Now, I say that because I read your story, and You're right. And I was a Franklin guy over Al Golden. He was the hot coach, but he doesn't live up to the hype. He talks a good show, but he's very conservative out there, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he really is. He really is. In terms of that's one of the things that I kind of wrote about on Saturday. Say, hey, there's a lot of flash here in terms of the sizzle, but the steak is pretty conservative.